George Elek is Head of Media Relations for Oddschecker. George, what brings you to the show this year?
Just ahead of the World Cup, really. We're just looking to show people what our plans are. It's obviously the biggest betting event for 4 years until the next one, and it's important that we show that we're getting the right traffic to our site, how we're doing it, how we're using content, PR and outreach now to ensure that we're appealing to the high value customers, because our issue sometimes is that the people who come to our site are normally quite shrewd and therefore not of great value to our bookmaker operator partners. So we now have to appeal to the masses, and by doing that we're creating viral content, video content and written content.
And how did your presentation go, and what are the main points that you would like the audience to take away with them?
Hopefully it went okay. I showed some of the videos we've done in the last week or so, which are quite amusing. One ahead of the Six Nations, which is kind of playing on the younger audience probably. The key points I'd say to take away from it is to look at the different ways you can provide value. I mean, we as an odds compiler wouldn't necessarily think that we could speak to broadcasters, but we look at the data that we collate, we look at the odds movements, and we go to broadcasters and media companies saying we've got a story. And it's just being creative at ways to try and attract audiences organically, really.
Obviously a huge year with the World Cup coming up. What sort of trends are we going to see in this industry linked into the World Cup?
I think that you're going to see a movement towards some of the markets you see in American sport. I think we'll see player markets becoming much more of a thing. In American football, you've had rushing yards, over and under line, stuff like that for a long time. I think in football, probably for the World Cup, you'll start to see passing lines, shots lines, which we're already seeing now, over and under shots on target, certain players, where I think football's changing in a way where the fans are now much more engaged with players rather than clubs, and I think the betting markets will start to reflect that as well.
And how important is this event to Oddschecker?
Massive. It's our biggest event, as I said, until the next one. We'll look to appeal to a wider audience. If you think that, I think it's 29% of bets used on a comparison site, 39% of those use Oddschecker. We need to make that 39% more, and we also need to tap into the fact that there'll be, I think, 30% of the UK population watch England, Iceland. It's a huge audience, and we need to make sure if they're having a bet, they come to us first.
George, thank you very much indeed. Really interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.